So it's November, it's a quite cold day but lovely and clear, and I'm just coming along to meet somebody called S and have a look at her allotment, which she hasn't had for very long, and talk about what she's done already and what she can do at this time of the year to make the next season easier for her.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi.
You must be S,
yeah,
I'm Russ.
tea?
Yeah, lovely.
This is my bit here. It starts with the 2 posts.
Okay. For this time of the year, we're going to be using a mattock, a fork, a spade, a cultivator and a rake. Please meet your worst enemy. This is couch grass. You can tell that it is because it's got these very coarse leaves and because it's doing so well at this time of the year. This needs to come out.
Okay.
It forms these great clumps, and now you see it's beginning to send off rhizomes.
Rhizomes, what those extra little roots?
Yeah, that's these extra little roots.
Okay.
If it gets unhappy here at all, that can travel miles and miles and miles.
Everywhere.
It probably has done, and along its length you get a little clump like that, but the rhizome will carry on and you'll get another little clump like that. So you get a chain of them. Once you've done it once, it'll be much easier to fork or dig right along the length here. If you've got something like that growing in your soil, you know that you didn't put it there and you don't want it and it's going to go somewhere else. So it doesn't matter which plant it is, you don't want it. That will spread across, over barriers, past all things you've planted, so you want both ends out. And like I showed you, that's where you need a mattock to get the bigger root out. The bramble won't grow so much from the root underneath, but if you chop bindweed, you're just making 2 bindweeds. With the dandelion, because they've got a very long root and the tiniest bit of it will re-sprout, it's important to get right down as deep as you can dig. Don't just break off the top, get the whole of the root out, otherwise it'll come back. And yet, because you can't possibly do the whole plot at once, if you've got something you can layer on top, that starts the job for you without you doing anything.
And so that does it actually just, so it's all dead now?
It's
or deadish.
Killing it. It won't kill it entirely, but it's a lot easier to pull up.
So you've still got the roots.
You've still got the rhizomes.
So you still do the...
So you still need to get right in there at some stage, but it'll be much easier if you haven't got all the top growth from having
and it's sort of doing it for you
it's
while
doing
you're working
it,
on
while
the
you're
other
working
stuff.
somewhere else, yeah. Anything that saves you work on the allotment is a good thing.
Yeah.
The fork, it's better than a spade for breaking up the soil, and it's easier for getting into any hard soil. It'll go past the roots rather than having to cut through them. And then you use the cultivator, a bit of shaking as you come to get most of the soil off. Out come your weeds.
Right.
And you can rake both directions to get the smooth, even surface. That's a fine tilth, perfect for seeds. You can make what's called a drill, sow your seeds into that drill, gently close them over unless they're seeds that need light. Then they've got nothing very heavy to push through when they start off, but they are protected and they've got moisture right up against them, no big clumps to stop them growing.
If you can just come up, even if it's just once a week, and don't tend to see it as like, oh my God, it's all this thing to do, just focus on a tiny little part, mulch the rest, which is you just put cardboard down, forget about it, and then concentrate on a tiny little bit, and then you get that growing, and when you see it coming out and growing, it's so rewarding, and then you can just take it in little stages rather than think, oh, I've got to dig, I've got to do the whole thing. It's just tiny little steps, and then the rewards will just outweigh all that thing of like, oh, it's too much to do. So little and often, and just to do it in little tiny bits.